So, good evening, students. Good evening, parents and dear students. I hope you're all doing well and good. Yes, everyone? Fine. So, I hope
Yes,
you're all
ma'am.
excited for today's demo session. Are you all ready for today's demo session of class 6th NSO, which has changed to ISO International Science Olympiad? Perfect. So, let me share my screen. Students, I hope my screen is clearly visible. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So, students, once again, I welcome you all to the ISO Masterclass for Olympiad Preparation Class 6th. So let me start with introduction. So MTG is the official academic partner of Science Olympiad Foundation. And MTG is India's #1 educational publisher of NEET, JEE, CBSE, CUET, and Olympiad exams. And we have foundation course books and magazines also. MTG publishes foundation course books and magazines. So as of now, MTG has collaborated with 72 countries and K-12 and test prep, and 19 plus crore copies have been sold as of now. 2.10 lakh schools and coaching centers follow MTG books as a reference copies, and 6.75 plus lakh teachers use MTG books for their reference. Okay, students, in this master class, what exactly are we going to discuss? First, exam pattern for ISO exam. As I have already told you, NSO National Science Olympiad exam is changed to International Science Olympiad exam, that is NSO to ISO. So we will be discussing the exam pattern. And our topic for today is a journey through states of water. I hope students you have all an idea of states of matter. So today we are going to discuss about a topic of a journey through states of matter and few Olympiad based questions from that topic, so that you will be getting a better idea how the questions will be asking from this topic and how are you supposed to figure out the correct option, and what are the tips, how the tips you can use for cracking the question, for solving the Olympiad level question. So these are the points which we are going to discuss in our master class. So speaking about the SOF Olympiad exam schedule for 2026 to 27. So these are the dates for ISO exam, the red color highlighted. So ISO, we have three different dates. As you all know that there are three dates for the exam, and it will completely depend upon the school's preference, which date they have selected for the exam. On that particular date, you are supposed to give your exam. So this is a complete schedule of all the subjects like GK, English, Maths, Social, Commerce, Hindi, and Computer Science. So these details are already available in website to www.sofworld.org. So for more details, you can have a visit to the website and you can note down the details of your exam date. So as I told you, today we are going to discuss about a topic. So this topic will be taught to you by our Olympiad expert, Divangi Garg ma'am. So let me give a brief introduction about Divangi ma'am. So ma'am is MSc Botany, MSc completed Botany, Biotechnology in MA, Clinical Psychology, and B.Ed. And ma'am has overall experience of 10 years in teaching. So ma'am has mentoring the students since last 10 years, and especially for the Olympiads. And she mentors students to build future field leaders. Sorry. And ma'am mentors students to build future field leaders. Ma'am creates vibrant teaching atmosphere and consistently supports students through openness and transparency. So Divangi ma'am makes sure to interact with each and every child and involve each and every student in the session. So this is about Divangi ma'am, who is going to take your topic for today. So, students, speaking about the pattern, SOF ISO International Science Olympiad exam pattern. So this is same for 5th to 10th standard, but as you're all in 6th standard students, this is applicable for you also. So total number of questions asked in your exam, in case if you students have attended your Olympiad exam, you might have a good idea. But let me brief who are not aware of this. So total number of questions asked in Olympiad exams are 50 questions. And out of 50 questions, there are 3 sections which are equally divided. Like logical reasoning, there are 10 questions, whereas each question carries 1 mark, and overall questions for logical reasoning are 10 marks. And section 2 consists of science. There are 35 questions asked in the science. Each question carries 1 mark, and total marks are 35 for science-based questions. And last and important, achiever section, which is very important. So these questions are of 5, and each question carries 3 marks. So total marks for achiever is 15. So overall marks of your 6th standard is 60 marks paper for the 50 questions. I hope I'm clear. Everyone understood? This is the exam pattern. Okay, so now we have Divangi ma'am with us. So ma'am will be taking up your topic for today. So students, listen carefully and focus towards the topic. In case if you have any queries related to subject, you can raise your hands. Please make sure to raise your hands, not to unmute directly in between. And you can also give your queries in chat box too, right? Over to you, Divangi ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And good evening, everyone. Good evening, all the students. I've been good till now.
Ma'am, sorry to interrupt you.
Ma'am, I would just like to confirm with you, are you able to see my screen?
Your screen is visible, but your voice is getting cracked, ma'am. Please have a check
Is my
of your...
screen visible?
Yes, your screen is visible. Yes, ma'am, your screen is visible, but make sure to have a check of your internet connection. Your voice is getting cracked in between.
It shouldn't happen because...
Yes. Now it's okay,
now is it okay, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am, it's okay. You can start with an introduction.
Okay, ma'am. So thank you so much for introducing, ma'am. And my students are also doing well. And I hope they are as much excited as I am to, teach you all and give you whatever knowledge I have to the best I can give and help you out to crack your, dream exams, your Olympiad, the ISO. All right. So basically what we'll be dealing here is we'll be having variety of questions, and the variety of questions involve selecting the odd one out questions that you must have seen in your lower grades also. Now, these are questions based on Venn diagram. I hope you have an idea of what is Venn diagram. When you have a few common things in a question and a few characters which are different, all right? So then it becomes a Venn diagram, something like this. We'll just have a look in the questionnaire when we do it. Then graph-based questions, you know what is a graph. Then figure-based questions, you will have direct figures labeled as A, B, C, D or PQRS, and they will be asking you what are the alphabets, what is the meaning of this alphabet, what does it denote. Then statement-based questions. Statement-based questions may include the assertion reason that you have been doing since so long, or they could be a set of statements and you have to find out the incorrect one or the correct one. Or even sometimes it is asked how many of these statements are correct or incorrect. Then we have questions based on table. All right, so again, they make a table and they give you blanks in between. So these are the variety of questions that when we come up to the question round, then you will be able to see a few varieties. Then the question based on the chart. Then we have complete the missing flow. So you know what is a flow? Flow is a flow chart they are talking about, where they'll give you incompletely, where they'll give you again, something like, let's say state of matter, state of water we are taking. So solid, liquid, gas. So solid, B, and then gas. So type of this. All right. Then they can ask you even examples they can give you in options. Then matching the columns. So it's simple. You have to match A, B, C, and D. So the topic for today is states of water and water cycle. I know you are all aware of the states of water and what is a water cycle. It's very, very easy topic, but still I want your full attention. All right, because then only you will be going into the depth of every point. Now, what is water? First of all, we need to know that water is the most vital natural resource following air. Like we cannot live without air, so we cannot survive without water again. So it is very, very essential for living beings. And on earth, it exists in three forms. And you know the three forms: the solid, liquid, and gas, that is ice, water, and water vapor. All right. Now, occurrence of water, where is water present or how much is water present? So Earth's surface is 71% covered with water.
With
All
water.
right. And most of the water which is available, that is 97%. 97% of this 71% is contained in the oceans and seas. That means since it is saline, we cannot use it for our domestic purposes, right? But the remaining 3% of the earth's water, this is fresh water. And this is what is located in the lakes, rivers, ponds, and glaciers. All right. And this is what the water that we can use. Percent of the total available water is good for us. Most of
Fresh
the
water.
water on earth is salty. It has salt that makes it saline. So this saline water, it may also have contaminants like toxins and excessive salt. And so it is not safe for us to drink. Now, if I talk about our body, human brain and heart, they are composed of 73% water. And this illustrates the critical role of water in both the cognitive and cardiovascular functions. So that means if water is missing, or we sometimes fall deprived of water when we're thirsty for a long time, we've been sweating, and still there's an urge of drinking water, and you don't find water, then what happened to us? Our body system starts slowing down. The rate of metabolism slows down. Everything slows down because water is the ultimate need for our body. All right. So, what is the importance of water then? Water is very, very important for our body because it plays a very important role in hydration. Hydration means it keeps our cells living, it keeps them moist, because unless and until they are moist, the things cannot get exchanged between cells and the surrounding tissues. So for a cell to survive, it should have sufficient amount of water, then only we say a cell is living. A dry cell is not living. So water keeps us hydrated. It plays a very important role in digestion, and digestion or our entire health depends on the gut health. So it is good for both humans and animals. It also facilitates the absorption of nutrients, the elimination of waste, and regulation of the body temperature. By sweating, we regulate our body temperature. By urination, we regulate our body temperature. All right. Then it is vital for farming. Now, water is not only important for animals, photosynthesis. Water is one of the essential raw material for photosynthesis. If water is missing, photosynthesis will not take place. And then what is going to happen? We cannot survive, irrespective of we are vegetarians or non-vegetarians, carnivores or herbivores, because carnivores indirectly depend on herbivores. And if there are no herbivores around us surviving, so can the carnivores survive? No. All right. So therefore, besides supporting the animal life, it is very, very essential for plants. And we cannot survive without plants. Plants give us fruits, vegetables, and grains. By this process only, they synthesize food and store them here in the form of fruits, vegetables, and grains. Now, water is an indispensable part of our daily life, and it is also used for cooking, cleaning, and personal hygiene. Then, when we talk about water bodies like the rivers, lakes, oceans, they are sustaining variety of aquatic life, variety of plants, variety of animals. All right. and they help in preserving the ecological harmony. How do plants help in preserving ecological harmony? Because they use carbon dioxide and give out oxygen, maintaining a balance in the atmosphere. Similarly, aquatic plants maintain a balance in the water between oxygen and carbon dioxide, supporting aquatic life. All right. I hope the importance of water is very much clear to you. Now, water is one of the few substances which will expand on freezing. Usually, what happens when things are frozen, they contract. And when the things are heated, they expand. But it's opposite with water. Water expands on freezing, and this is the reason ice floats on water. And so the aquatic life is able to survive in water during winters. Okay.
Ma'am, your voice is
Now,
breaking.
water also plays a very, very important role in manufacturing process in the production of goods, which range from textiles to automobiles. Water stored in dams. This is used to generate electricity. I am sure you must have seen dams. Water comes up from a great height with great speed and it falls on turbines. My voice is breaking.
Ma'am, your voice is breaking, ma'am.
Is it okay now?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Is
Yes,
it
ma'am.
okay now? Can I get a confirmation?
Yes, ma'am.
Am I audible now?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am, you're audible.
I'm asking. Okay, just one. Audible now? That's why
Ma'am, your voice is not coming.
water which is stored. This is used to generate electricity in the hydroelectric power stations. And this makes an essential part of our daily energy supply. All right. In plants, water is essential for seed germination, plant growth, and photosynthesis. It also facilitates the transportation of minerals and nutrients throughout the plant. So that means the nutrient transport is not only required in case of animal body, but it is equally important and required in case of animal body, in case of plant bodies. Next are the properties of water. You must be aware of some of them and some might be new to you. When I talk about the nature of water, water is pure, so it is odorless, it is tasteless, and a colorless liquid. It is only when we add something, its color changes, its taste changes, and the odor also changes at times. All right. Boiling point is 100 degrees C under normal atmospheric conditions. Freezing point is 0 degrees Celsius under normal atmospheric conditions. When I talk about the density, the maximum density of water is 1 gram per centimeter cube at 4 degrees Celsius. When I talk about the conductivity, the distilled water, it does not conduct heat and electricity because there are no ions present in distilled water. In distilled water, we remove all the ions. But when a water has ions, when water has impurities like tap water, it can conduct electricity. Then water is very importantly known as universal solvent. Water can dissolve a large number of substances in it, and therefore we call it as universal solvent. Now, what are the states of water? Let's have a look on them quickly. You already know the solid, liquid, and gas. These are the three states of matter. And in case of water, the solid is ice, liquid is water that we drink, and gas is the vapor form. All right. So, ice floats on water because of the density issue, that ice has a lower density than water. What are the properties of different states of water? We will talk about the shape, the volume, the compressibility, the flow, and the density. When I talk about the shape, solids have fixed shape. Liquids do not have any fixed shape, but they take the shape of the container in which they are poured. And gaseous state again has no fixed shape. When I talk about the volume, volume is fixed in case of solid, but it is also fixed in case of liquid, but no fixed volume in case of gas, because water vapors can expand freely. Compressibility, solids cannot be compressed, you know that. Liquids cannot be compressed, but the gaseous state can be easily compressed. When I talk about the flow, solids do not flow, they are rigid. Gases, they flow easily, liquid flow easily, and gases also flow easily and quickly. Talking about the density, density of ice is always lower than liquid water, and so it floats. Then we have already talked about the density of liquid water, that is higher than ice, and it is maximum at 4 degrees centigrade, which I just told you is about 1 gram per centimeter cube. And the gaseous state has the lowest density. All right. Then, what are the interchangeable states of water? Now, this is a very, very important figure, children, because this question, you know, they can ask you, they can remove heat from here and they can ask you A, and they can remove cool from here and they can put B, and they ask you to identify A and B in the given figure. So, when ice is heated, it changes into the liquid state, which is water. Now, heated, even if you put ice from the refrigerator into the room temperature, so the ice is going to melt into liquid water.
Charging फक्त 19% आहे.
Please mute your mic. I would request the participants to please keep their mics on a mute. All right. So the water, when it is cooled, you know, when you fill an ice tray with water and when you place it in the refrigerator, in the freezer, so it solidifies to form ice. Now this water, again, when heated, it changes into the gaseous state, which is the water vapor in the form of steam that you can see comes out from the boiling water. And when the steam is cooled, again, we get the liquid water. All right. Now, again, have a look at the terms. Solid, that is ice, is melting into liquid. Liquid is being vaporized on heating into gas. All right. And then gas is again deposited or collected to form solid. This is one way. But see how it happens in vice versa. There are some substances which directly changes from solid into gas without coming in the liquid state. This step is known as sublimation. And one example, I think you people can also correlate, is the naphthalene balls. They do not change into the liquid state. They directly change from solid into gas. All right. So that is sublimation. But coming back to the point, once the solid has been heated, it changes into liquid on melting. And this liquid can be changed back into solid on freezing. The liquid on vaporization forms gas, and gas, when it is condensed, it forms again liquid. So this is the interchange in the states of water, which you should know. Then
Example of
yes, example of sublimation you want me to repeat?
no, ma'am, I was saying that example of sublimation is camphor also.
Yes, camphor is also an example. That's right. Next is evaporation. When I talk about evaporation, it is the process when the water changes from liquid state into the vapor state. You must have seen when the water boils, there are, some particles which are moving just above the boiling water. and they are converting, or they are the changed form of liquid into the gaseous form. And when water is heated up to 100 degrees centigrade, that is the boiling point, it boils and then changes to steam. This process occurs continuously from the surface of rivers, lakes, oceans, and even wet clothes because of the heat that they are getting from the sun or from the surrounding airs. All right. And in open places, when we leave water filled in a utensil and we keep it outside for maybe 2 days, 3 days in hot days on a hot summer day, so within a day, you will find that the level of water has reduced. And that is because of this process, which is evaporation. That is, the water is lost to the surrounding. This happens, then water changes slowly into the invisible form, which is water vapor through evaporation. All right. And this will happen even at a normal room temperature, but depending on the temperature, what is there. All right. And if what is the other environmental conditions will define the rate of evaporation. So where does evaporation take place? Let's have a look.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Can you tell me an example of deposition also?
Deposition of, okay, in case of, you are talking about the gas to solid?
Ma'am, yes, ma'am. An example of it.
I'll tell you. Please give me some time. Let me complete the slides. I'll tell you the example before we end the class. Okay?
Okay, ma'am.
All right. So when I talk about evaporation, where does evaporation takes place? This evaporation takes place when we are drying clothes. You must have seen how the clothes get dried up when it is a windy day or when it is a very sunny day. And when it is cloudy, when it is rainy, it's very difficult for us to dry the clothes. We'll come up to those points also in the further slides. Then, water during cooking. When we heat, when we are cooking, so when you provide heat, the water gets evaporated during that cooking step also. And even when you when you mop the floor, it gets dried up. And still, if you turn on the fan of that room, the speed of drying up is further increased. All right. Now, these are the areas where the rate of deposition takes place. All right. So when I talk about these various factors that affect the rate of evaporation, the first thing that you should be knowing is it should have a larger surface area. Anything with large surface area will be dried much more easily. That is the reason what we do. We open the clothes and we spread them properly so that the air can help them to dry out quickly. What if we just take out the clothes and hang them over the wire? So hanging the clothes over the wire would not help them in drying up quickly. All right. So if the area is larger, the rate of evaporation will be much, much more. For example, the spread clothes and the wide container. All right. So that is where the rate of transpiration increases. All right. Then next is temperature. The higher the, no, why I'm telling you these points, because these will come up in questions further. All right. So you should know that what are the factors and how we will apply them. So let's have a look on the higher temperature. The higher is the temperature, the faster is the evaporation. All right. And when I talk about a hot sunny day, or when I talk about a heated pan, because it is hot, the temperature is more, and so the rate of evaporation will definitely increase. All right. Then next is the humidity. When I talk about humidity, more is the humidity. Now this is an opposite relationship. More is the humidity. Humidity is the moisture in the air. If already the atmosphere has moisture, especially during a rainy day, when I say, all right. So at that time, the rate of evaporation is lower. Another example is a humid bathroom. When you take bath and there is a lot of water. So after some time, when you move out, you feel the difference between a dry room and a humid bathroom. Then when I talk about the wind speed, I've already given you an example that if we turn on the fan and we are mopping the floor, it gets dried up more quickly. So more is the wind, more is the evaporation. So you can see that these factors, surface area, temperature, and wind speed, increases the rate of evaporation with increased temperature and larger surface area and more wind. But yes, more humidity will slower the rate of evaporation. Please keep this thing in mind. This is very, very important. Now, when I talk about, there are different types of liquids besides water also. So volatile liquids will evaporate faster. For example, alcohol or spirit, this will evaporate much faster, those which are volatile. Next, I'm talking about the cooling effect. When I talk about the cooling effect, the evaporation of the liquid leads to decrease in the temperature or cooling because the liquid requires energy to change into vapors. Now, I'll give you a very, very easy example of cooling. You'll experience it yourself. And that example is when we sweat. When you're sweating badly, you sweat everywhere in your armpits, on your face, in your hair, and you turn on the fan. How do we feel? We feel cooler effect. Although we are, not very happy with the sweat, but still, if we are sweating and we turn on the fan, you get relaxed. Yes, it is giving you a cooling effect. So that is because of evaporation of water from the surface of the skin. This is happening. So similarly, evaporation is going to give a cooling effect, or it results in decrease in the temperature wherever it happens. And why is it giving a cooling effect? Because the liquid is requiring energy to change into vapors. Now, this cooling effect is occurring because when the liquid evaporates, it's absorbing the latent heat. Latent heat is the hidden heat of vaporization from the surrounding, and this causes a drop in the temperature. Then particles with high energy can escape from the surface of the liquid, and so it results in the formation of water vapor. And those with the low energy molecules, they remain here only. And so what happens is the overall temperature of the surface falls down. Now, these are the examples of cooling during summer hot days when water is sprinkled on the roof or floor, that is, or we are mopping it, and large amount of heat is coming out from the ground. And by losing the heat, the place becomes cool. So once after, if you observe yourself in your surroundings, once the mopping is being done, and within 5 or 10 minutes after the mopping is done, the floor appears to us a little cooler. The water seeps through the surface of the earthen pots. Earthen pots, you must have seen mitti ke ghade jo hote hain. All right. So the water comes up on the surface, the seeps up through the surface of the earthen pots, and this is what keeps the water cool in the earthen pots, resulting or giving us a cooling effect. Then again, rubbing hands, sanitizer, it evaporates, and again, it gives a cooling effect on our hand. And very important, we wear cotton clothes during summer. Why? Because cotton is a good absorber of water, and so it absorbs the sweat very quickly. At the same time, the body is losing sweat to maintain the body temperature. All right. And this sweat is evaporated easily from the clothes, and so our body feels cool and comfortable in summers wearing cotton clothes. Now, before I start melting sublimation, okay, let me see if we have, okay, just 1 second. This we have discussed. So before I move to these terminologies, I would like to, because one of the students was curious to know about an example of deposition. So you must have seen frost being deposited. So that is where solid gaseous state is directly converted into the solid state. All right. So frost is one such example of deposition you can keep in mind. Now, coming to the melting part. When I talk about melting, during melting, the process ice that is solid is going to change into liquid. And when this ice is heated, or let us say it is placed in a room temperature, what is happening? The molecules are gaining energy, and so they start moving at a faster speed. This results in the change of state. So energy is always responsible behind any change of state. The specific temperature at which the ice melts into water is the melting point. Then we talk about sublimation. Sublimation, when ice directly changes into vapor without coming into the liquid state. It takes at a specific temperature, and again here a pressure is also required to convert it directly into, the vapor part. Another examples of sublimation, as we've already discussed, naphthalene balls and camphor. One more is iodine. All right. Freezing, when we keep water in the ice tray and put it in the freezer, and it solidifies to form ice on cooling. So during freezing, the water loses heat energy and it causes the molecules to slow down. Now, always remember, children, whenever the molecules gain energy, their speed is going to increase. And whenever the molecules are going to lose energy, their speed is going to slow down. And when they slow down, they tend to come close and form ice, like the lakes and ponds freeze during the winters. Next is condensation. Condensation is the process by which water vapors cool down and changes into the liquid state. All right. And when this water vapor in the air is going to lose heat, its molecules are going to slow down. As I already told you, whenever heat is absorbed, the speed of the molecules increase, the energy is given to the molecules, they move faster. And when they lose energy, they slow down and they come closer together. And then they form the tiny droplets of water. This usually happens when the warm, moist air touches a cooler surface or cools down in the atmosphere, like the formation of dew and clouds you must have seen. And even when we take a shower in the bathroom, and you will observe, like especially during winters when it is warm water, so they are the vapor state. And on the mirror, if you see the mirror turns foggy very quickly. So that is another example. Another example you can take here and keep in mind is a cold glass of water, and you see water droplets on the outer surface of the glass. That is again because of condensation. Then, how are clouds formed? Now, clouds formation is the result of condensation again. So this is a very, very important phenomenon which brings water back to the Earth's surface. When I talk about the atmosphere, as it rises to higher altitudes, it cools down. When the water droplets evaporate, not droplets, the water evaporates in the form of water vapor from the water bodies like lakes and rivers. Then these drops condenses in the atmosphere to form clouds. All right. Because of the lower temperature there, because there is the air is cool enough. All right. And when these droplets become bigger in size, they accumulate dust particles, and this results in the formation of clouds. So more and more droplets combine to become larger and heavy. And once they are large enough, they are heavy enough, they come down on ground as the rain. So under certain atmospheric condition, it may also fall as hail or snow. Now, this is the water cycle that you should be knowing. Okay, cycle is in the next slide. So what is a water cycle? That is the continuous circulation of water from the surface of the earth and oceans to atmosphere and back to the surface of the earth as rain, hail, or snow. That means water is evaporating from the water bodies, it condenses to form clouds, and then it comes back down in the form of rain. So it starts with evaporation. Evaporation means heat, energy is required, and from where the energy is given from sun to the water. From the water from the water bodies evaporates because of this heat. So the water vapors are then moving and in the sky, and then they are condensing at a higher altitude because the air is cooler there. Now, when I talk about plants, the plants contribute to water cycle, and they release water vapor from their leaves through the process of transpiration. This water vapor then cools and condenses to form water droplets and clouds. And then when they become too heavy, they come down as rain. And then some of them reaches back to the water bodies. Some of them are filtered and reach the underground water level. And therefore, water is released back into the atmosphere by evaporation and transpiration. See, this is a very, very important picture. Now, here the words soil water, runoff, infiltration, subsurface outflow, evaporation. This is marked as P, Q, R, and S. So you're supposed to tell what is happening by this arrow. What do you mean by this arrow? What is the meaning of this arrow? That the arrow is helping in condensation of the, in the formation of clouds by condensation. Then precipitation, water is coming down as rain again. So this is again a very, very important cycle, and this is the water cycle, which maintains a continuous flow of water between Earth and the atmosphere. Now, what is the importance of water cycle? Why do we need a water cycle? Because it helps in, it distributes essential water to sustain plant and animal life. It influences weather patterns and help in regulating the climate. It maintains water levels in rivers, lakes, and oceans. Then, it
Ma'am,
naturally, yes.
ma'am, I had it out in the last slide about the runoff. What do you mean by runoff?
Okay, just give me one. Yes, you're talking about this word?
Yes, ma'am.
Runoff is something when rainwater flows, no, when it comes down on the earth, you must have seen the water running on the roads. Similarly, when it is a hilly area, the water comes down from great height and enter into the water bodies. So that is what is a runoff is.
Okay.
Ma'am, what is infiltration?
Infiltration means the water which is absorbed by the soil, and soil particles are so close that when water is being absorbed, it gets filtered during this process. That is the reason the underground water is the purest form of water that we can drink. The
Okay, ma'am. Thank you,
impurities are
ma'am.
all filtered here with the help of soil. Okay.
Ma'am, what is subsurface outflow?
Subsurface outflow means, you must have seen there are points that water starts seeping out from the underground water. It does not go to the depth of the underground water level. It remains.
Ma'am, what?
Yes.
Ma'am, what is transpiration?
Transpiration, I told you, the process of evaporation by which water is being released in the form of water vapor by plants. So transpiration is specific to plants.
Ma'am, what is soil water?
The water which is present in the soil particles are present close to each other. There is some amount of water present in the soil.
Ma'am, what is infiltration?
I just now told you have to be very attentive in the classroom.
Sorry.
It's okay. I'm telling it once again. Please be attentive now. Infiltration means when rainwater comes down, it has to pass through layers of the soil, and this water gets filtered before it reaches the underground water table. So that is a fresh water that is available to us free of impurities. Okay?
Thank you, ma'am. Understood.
Okay. Now, okay, we were talking about the importance of water cycle. So it is essential to sustain the life on Earth. It influences weather patterns and regulate the climate. It maintains water levels in rivers, lakes, and oceans because evaporation takes place and then again it rains, so the water gets again replenished. Then naturally filters and purifies water, and it makes safe for our consumption. Then transport nutrients along different terrains and supports ecosystem. Crucial for agriculture, and it provides all the essential nutrients for which are essential for the growth of plant. And so this is a natural way of irrigation, nature's way of irrigation. Now what happens, why do we say that there is scarcity of water in spite of having so much water on earth? 71% of the earth's surface is covered with water, but as I've already told you, out of that 71%, 97% is saline, and so we cannot consume it. What is available for our consumption is only 3%, and that is also not evenly distributed. All right, that is why we are more independent on the other sources of water bodies, and we are basically interfering with the natural process of replenishment of groundwater. We do not let or help the absorption of the rainwater or the process of infiltration, which will increase the groundwater. Started using the groundwater. So that is decreasing the water table. Then increase water pollution. Whatever rivers and lakes are available to us, which are filled with fresh water, still there is a deterioration in the quality of the water that is available. Now let's come to the question part. This is a very, very important part for you, and I want all of you to answer in the chat box. Please don't unmute yourself and just tell the answer of the question.
Ma'am?
Yes.
Ma'am, for me it's showing chat is disabled.
The chat is disabled. How is it possible?
Yes,
Let
ma'am.
me-
Now it's
It's working now? Okay.
yes, ma'am.
Okay, please. Now I don't want any one of you to unmute yourself. Just write the answer in the chat box and I am just observing. Be quick when you write. I haven't received any answer. Yes, now I have started getting answers. Okay. Okay. Good, good, very good. I'm very happy to see that everybody is getting the correct answer. Still so many are left. Very few answers. Why? Be quick, others. The process X is involved in formation of clouds from water vapor. You know that water vapor changes into clouds. Yes. By the process of condensation, and these are other examples of condensation. So correct answer is D. So congratulations everyone who have given this answer. Let's move to the next question then. This is the question for you. I hope it is visible. Let's be quick. Firstly, we have to mark what is asked. Which statement is to be figured out? We have to figure out the incorrect statement. I hope you have, okay, I'm getting the answers. Yes, very good, good, good. Good to see the answers correct. Good. Perfect. Okay. Now, next time I want you to write the question number also like 2D, 2C, 2A, whatever it is. So next will be question number 3. Okay, so the correct answer is D here. All right. So far, everybody has got it correct. Now, the next question, which is question number 3, please do not forget to mention 3. Yes, this is the question. Read it. Yes, very quick. I want answers because we have got the concepts. Yes, 3. Okay. Read the question carefully. Everybody is getting it wrong. Read the question carefully. Read it carefully. Read the question carefully. All right. Now, see, the question says, read the given statement and mark the correct option. All right. Statement 1 is the hot seat of bicycle when parked on a sunny day can be cooled by sprinkling some water on it. That's correct. The cooling effect of hot seat occurs due to the process of condensation. That is correct or incorrect? No. The cooling effect of hot seat is because of evaporation. No. The energy is lost to the environment in the form of molecules. And so the correct answer is option C. The next question, now fourth question. Yes. After explanation, many students got them. Okay, now I'll explain you this question before I leave it to you. Refer to the given paragraph and where few words have been italicized. Select the correct option. The rain is the main source of water on earth. The water from water body condenses to form water vapor that rises up in the sky and precipitates to form clouds. Clouds, when become heavy and cannot hold any more water, it comes down as rain in the process called infiltration. It recharges the groundwater and the surface water. Now see, option says rain should be replaced by glacier. Glacier is the main source of water on earth, according to the statement, and condenses should be replaced by precipitates. Water from water body condenses to form water vapor or it precipitates to form water vapor. No, it neither condenses to form vapors nor it precipitates. Position of condenses and precipitates should be interchanged. Okay, water from water body precipitates to form vapor that rises up in the sky and condenses to form clouds. Okay, let's have a look at the next option. Rain should not be replaced as it is correctly mentioned. Okay, whereas infiltration should be replaced by evaporation. This step. Clouds, when become heavy, cannot hold water. It comes down as rain in the process called infiltration. No, that is precipitation. Then groundwater should not be replaced as it is correctly mentioned. Where is groundwater in the statement? It recharges the groundwater, whereas infiltration should be replaced by precipitation. Now let's have the answers. Yes, so everybody has already started giving me the answer. Good. So it's the correct answer. See, groundwater should not be replaced as it is correctly mentioned. So yes, it recharges the groundwater. Whereas infiltration should be replaced by precipitation. Precipitation means rain. Very good. Everybody has got the correct answer.
Ma'am,
Now, yes.
ma'am, what is the meaning of italicized?
Italicized, actually, the words were supposed to be italicized, means they should be written in slant. But the entire paragraph was italicized.
Oh.
Okay. Italicized means the font that was written.
Okay, ma'am.
Now let's match the column 1 and 2. Column 1 says a few words and column 2 again says a few words, and then you have to match them. And let's see what options you have out of these. Now see, these questions are very tricky. And I'll give you a very easy way of fetching these questions in less time. When I talk about the match the column, one way is you can match it for your own self, and then you can just have a check with the options, whichever option matches your match the column. But one thing, if you look at option 1, you have two variety, that is 1 or 5. Okay. And if you look at option 5, you have option 5 and 4. So let's have a look at option E first. What is E? E is clouds. Yes. And cloud is the result of condensation. So this shouldn't be the correct answer. Out of these 3, you can have the answer. Let's move to D. D, you have two choices, either 3 or 2. D is precipitation. Precipitation is not salt water. Precipitation is rain. So D has to be 3. So out of these 3 options, D stands for 3 only in option number 2, which is B. So you can quickly solve it in the reverse gear also in match the column. In spite of solving the whole question, we did it in just 2 steps. So that's the correct answer, B. You can still cross-check for your own convenience. You can still cross-verify for your own confidence that all the other matches perfectly. All right. Now see, this is the figure-based question as I have been telling you for the water cycle. See, this is the water cycle based question where we have P, Q, R, and S. P is showing the rainfall which is coming down. That is precipitation. You should know the words now. So this is precipitation. So P stands for precipitation. Now you have just 2 options out of this. So P is for precipitation. Let's cross-check the others as well. Q is the cloud formation. That will be done by condensation. Then R is the transpiration from plants, that is loss of water in the form of water vapors. And S is evaporation, water into water vapors because of the heat of the sun from water bodies. So the answer here is B. Yes. Now this question I want everybody to do because this is mainly what happened. I don't have the conditions. Yeah. Okay. I want everybody of you to do applying the concept that we've already studied on the basis of the temperature. You can have a look at the temperature. You can have a look on the day they are hung out. On a rainy day, on a sunny day, on a cloudy day, on a cloudy day. So when there are two cloudy days, you will have a look at the temperature. And you know the rate of drying of the clothes will be higher with higher temperature. All right. So the maximum temperature is applied on the cloth S, 35 degrees. Then you have 32 degrees, but one you have a sunny day and one you have a cloudy day. Sunny day, it will be easier for the cloth to dry. So S, Q, R, and P. So this was a one short question. I hope everybody was able to do this question. Yes. Okay, I'm getting the answers also. Very good. That means you've conceptually understood the states of water. So I hope you have understood the content. I hope you were able to solve the questions. And this must have helped you in understanding the pattern of the MCQs, the pattern of the questions that are asked, how you will have to apply the knowledge, how you have to apply mixing the concepts. All right. And you have to answer the questions with speed. So that trick also I gave you for match the column. Just look which option is odd. You will sometimes, you know, out of 5 matches, you will find that out of 5, 3 of them are being repeated in all options. So your 2 matches will solve the answer. All right. So this is all from my end. I think Rekha ma'am is going to now continue with the session.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank you for the session. So, students, I hope you have understood the topic very clearly, states of water. So, all the concepts were clearly explained by ma'am. So, have you all understood? Have you got an idea how the Olympiad questions are asked for this topic and how you should solve those, by applying tips? Everyone
Yes,
understood
ma'am.
the topic, right? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So students, as we have attended today, you have all attended the NSO demo session today. We also have English and LR demo session also. So speaking about the English for 6th standard students, it is on 21st April at 4 to 5 p.m. And logical reasoning is on 7th of May at 4 to 5 p.m. So we would suggest you all to please attend this free demo session so that you can get to know how exactly the topics will be explained and related to that topic Olympiad questions, how you can crack the questions very easily. So this is about the free demo sessions of English and LR. Ma'am, can we go to the next slide? Yes, Anvita, we will take up your query later. Just give me a minute.
Okay.
Okay. So students, this is about the live batch schedule for Okay. So, students, class 6th, we are going to start our NSO classes from 23rd of April. So, if you see here, ISO class 6, we will be having 28 plus sessions and classes are scheduled on Mondays and Thursdays. And date is going to start from 23rd of April till 28th of July. It's 6:15 to 7:15 p.m. Got it? And one more important, students, whoever have attended the demo session for today, in case if you are willing to, if you are interested in enrolling for the live classes, you will be getting a special 10% of discount code. And this is the discount code. You can apply this code directly in the website and this is applicable for today. So whoever are interested, you can just directly enroll for the classes by applying this special 10% discount coupon code, right? Now, speaking about the course highlights, what exactly the course is, as how ma'am has explained you the topic for today. In the same way, all the topics, all the concepts of all the topics will be clearly explained for you all as per the SOF pattern. And after each and every class, students, you will be getting an assignment. Whoever enrolls for the classes, you will be getting an assignment in the student portal, which we will be giving an access for the students who enroll for the classes. So after each and every class, you'll be getting assignment, and on the weekends, you'll be getting a weekly test, and topic-wise worksheets also will be provided. So basically, this is for you revision, for your practice. Apart from the live classes, you are going to get this benefit from MTG Online Olympiad classes. And also, we will be having a live doubt solving with experts. Like once teacher explains you few topics, after few topics, there will be a separate doubt session only for you. So in that doubt session, you can discuss all your doubts, you can clarify your doubts. So 1 hour of doubt session is also there in your course. And speaking about the LMS access, which I already told you about, the student portal, as all the assignments, weekly tests, and recordings, each and every class will be recorded, and these recordings also will be uploaded in the portal. So this is all about the course highlights. I hope it's clear, everyone. Understood? Yes. Ma'am, can we go to the next slide? And students team have shared you a Google form and the class about the classes in the chat box to you. You can please look at the chat box. In case if you or even if you have any doubts, you can please enroll for the classes. You can just fill the Google form, which is already shared in the chat box. Ma'am, can we go to the next slide?
Yes, ma'am, it is the thank you slide. I don't know why isn't coming on the screen.
Okay, okay,
I have
fine.
changed it on my screen, but it isn't showing there. It's a
Okay.
thank you slide.
Okay, let me share. Okay, students, this is about the live batch schedule, which I have explained you for class 6. So this is about the course highlights, which I explained you about the conceptual classes and assignments weekly test. And students, in case if you have any queries, you can please call or WhatsApp to these numbers, which we have provided you on the screen. So these helpline numbers will be available from morning 9 to evening 6. So in case if you have anything to discuss over the call, you can call directly. From morning 9 to evening 6, they are available. Otherwise, you can directly WhatsApp us your queries, or you can also mail us to this mail ID, which is provided on the screen for you all. You can please note down this. Okay. So this is all about the demo session for today, students. In case if you have any questions, you please raise your hands. We will take your queries. And you can, if you have any other queries also, you can reach out to us at this mail ID and the helpline numbers which are on the screen. Okay. So thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining the demo session. Thank you, ma'am. So students, if you have any queries, you can ask now.